What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about flat roof residential, what we're seeing out here, and how do we fix it. Let's get started. All right, well, I'm in this subdivision in San Antonio that's called Mission Trace. And in Mission Trace, we have a ton of tile roofs, right? Which are great. But then on the back patios, they all have flat roofs. And guess what? They're all leaking. I've actually been to this house about a month ago. I'm here at this one now. And then I was on the other block about 2 weeks ago. So they're all around the same age and they're all having the same exact problem. I'm gonna give you guys a quick tour of this roof and let you guys know what I see. All right, sounds good. Here we go. We got this is actually I believe they're like townhomes or garden homes, and they're all connected together. So you can see they all have the same tile, but some of them look newer than the others. Now this one right here has not been replaced, it's actually been painted. So they had somebody come up here, power wash it probably, and then paint it. Yeah, and then we have this one, which is the original one, and you can tell where a lot of these repairs have been attempted, right? We want to say attempted because they're probably still leaking. But in here, I'm going to zoom in. You can see everywhere that there's caulking or sealant, there was some kind of a problem, and somebody came out and basically tried to seal it up. Let's move on to the flat roof. Now the flat roof on this particular one, we can see a patch repair been done here with some modified bitumen and some tar and some screws, right? And then I can also see that it's got some gutters, and I can tell where the water has been ponding. So in these dark areas, maybe you can't see it in the video, but you can tell where the water's been sitting and ponding and basically makes its way inside the home, right? Okay, let's look at another section. Okay, so now let's say it's raining. Rain's gonna fall all over this roof, but when it gets to this slope roof, it's all gonna come down the slope and onto this flat area. Now, when it gets to this flat area, it can only go so far and then it'll stand or stay in place. There are gutters there. There's a little L gutter. But if you look at this edge here, it actually has a lip. So there's a lip here. So if this thing fills up with water, all this lip is doing is containing the water from going off the edge. And this lip is actually all the way around the entire perimeter of this flat roof. So what it's doing is it's coming down this slope, and then once it gets here, we're basically keeping it in to basically make like a swimming pool and keep all of the water on this roof. Not good. Okay, so even on this area here, what somebody attempted to do was add some of this plastic cement to make a little ramp for water to move up and go over. But it's very, very hard because this drip edge or containment is at least about an inch high. So it actually, water's gonna stay up here. About an inch of water is gonna stay up here before it can overflow into the gutter. So let's take a look at something else. So let's go into a little more detail of what this roof looks like. It is a modified bitumen. It's maybe 10, 15 years old. You can see where those dark spots are at. That's where the water's holding. And once the water stays, it's gonna try and find its way in, Gravity's gonna take its place, or take its toll, and then try to get in all of these little crevices and work its way. There's too much shadow there, but it'll make its way into inside the home, because it has nowhere to go. Okay, let's take a look at the neighbor's roof. Now that roof there, we went and saw this roof I guess about a month ago, maybe a couple months ago. And so what they ended up doing, they had a roof like this, modified bitumen, and they went over, it looks like they went over the top with a TPO. Now this is a TPO system, which is heat welded right on top. And basically goes around all of those boots and everything else. But you know what is happening here is they still have the ponding water. You can see all of those stains where water is still ponding. Now, TPO will not withstand ponding water. So right now it may not be leaking, but with time, water's gonna make its way inside. TPO is not able to withstand or withhold water. You know, it's just gonna slowly but surely make its way inside. So the question you're asking me is, Paul, what is the proper way to fix this? Right? Well, how do we eliminate the problem? If you can't do TPO on this flat roof, what should we do? Well, you have two options. In my opinion, the first option is going to be, I mean, see how this is slope? This is slope for a reason. So you have positive water flow off of the roof. So if anything on this roof here, you should try and build it up so that it has positive water flow, and you're not going to be containing any water over here. So that's going to be option number one. Option number one is going to be give it a positive water flow so that it runs off of this roof and then runs off of this and straight into your gutter or onto the perimeter of the home. That's going to be option number one. Option number two, which may be okay, we can talk about this, but it may be a roof coating, maybe a silicone roof coating, because a silicone roof coating is actually going to be the only system that'll withstand ponding water. So if we take a look at that TPO system over there, now TPO will not withstand the ponding water, like I've said 2 or 3 times. So water eventually is going to get in. Maybe not right now, but with time, it's going to make its way inside. If we do silicone here, silicone is going to withstand the ponding. So that means this will be a silicone system. It'll still pond water, just like that one does, but it's not going to penetrate into the home. The only way that it's going to eliminate itself is going to be to evaporate, or you're going to have to sweep it off. You know, you're not going to be up here sweeping it off, so it's probably just going to have to evaporate. We want to try and give it as much, you know, you want to give it some flow, but it'll be hard. You know, the other thing I can think of is redoing the perimeter to get rid of that dam that's holding the water in. So listen, this is a couple of the options that we have on these flat roofs, and I want to know what you guys think. Leave something in the comments on these flat roofs and what you would do. These are the options that I'm thinking of. Really reframing it or giving it some kind of positive water flow, or the second one's going to be doing a roof coating. Hey, thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys on the next video.